Good evening and welcome to NCC Sports from Home Edition once again. I'm Cole Johnson. Well, quarantine continues, and over the last few weeks, we have been forced to do some of the things that we never thought we'd do from home. And sports does still continue though. And even though there's no blood, sweat, or tears being dripped out on the court or the field, there's still sports circulating in the news. And for Syracuse hoops, there's always news. And even though the season doesn't start for another 6 months, the anticipation stays at an all-time high. And for all those fans who have that fairy tale dream of a special recruiting class each and every year, well, this may not have been the best couple of weeks for Orange Nation, as they lost a couple of glass slippers, if you will, in the last few days. One of them being an unfortunate turn of events. Patrick Tape, the transfer from Columbia, committed to Duke back at the end of March, only to decommit less than a week later during that time. Insiders such as Evan Daniels of 24/7 Sports said he strongly believed Tape was going to Syracuse. Suddenly, the 6'10 forward out of Charlotte decided to go back to Duke and shattering Syracuse's hopes at long wingspan in the front court. And then next, it was Quincy Baylor, the local hopeful from Henniger High School, who had Syracuse in its final 3 schools. The 7-footer spent the last year at the Quality Education Academy in Winston-Salem, where he averaged 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 blocks per game at QEA. And in social distancing decision outside of his home, he chose the Florida State Seminoles as his landing spot. There is good news coming from the Hill though, as SU women's basketball star Tiana Mangakahia is getting back in action, this after sitting out all of last season in her recovery from cancer. Mangakahia was shown in a Twitter video last week knocking down shots like she never left. A walking bucket, and she's going to be doing it with a lot of help too. Coach Quentin Hilsman doing his part in recruiting, as the Orange being ranked as the number 4 recruiting class in the country in 2020. And it doesn't stop there for Coach Q, as this week he reeled in another top recruit for the 2021 season, rounding out a hopeful future for Orange women's hoops. And Mangakahia is excited and ready to do her part in lifting the program higher next season.
Well, the past year has been tough, hard, emotional, but I've definitely come out a lot stronger mentally and physically.
The Orange kick off the 2021 season in November, looking to reach the NCAA tournament for the 8th time under Hilsman. There's college hoops, there's the NBA, and there's that little something in between. And that little something isn't going to be small anymore. The NBA G League getting some big additions recently in the last few days. That's all starting with a $500,000 deal to skip college. And the kid on the right side of that deal, Jalen Green, the number 1 high school prospect in the land, decides to forego college ball and put himself in the 1-year development program. The 6'5 guard out of Fresno, California is projected to be the first overall pick in the 2021 draft. And he's bringing some reinforcements. Isaiah Todd, the 13th ranked player and decommit from Michigan, is expected to join as well. And something everyone else is eagerly waiting for, the NFL draft. Well, it's coming sooner than you would expect in the next couple of weeks, but it's going to be in a little bit of a different style this year. No booing, no commissioner walk-ups to the podium. It's going to be interesting. And with a virtual draft set for April 23rd, we will all be seeing the top prospects' reactions from their own homes. 2 of the most talked about guys being Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa. Burrow projected as the shoo-in number 1 pick for Cincinnati. For Tua though, it's up in the air. Many draft boards projecting him to go to Miami, but recently there's been a shift. Yesterday, Tagovailoa had been taken off several boards with a concern of his past injuries, specifically the hip injury that ended his Heisman hopeful season at Mississippi State last year. Bleacher Report's Matt Miller saying that the Dolphins may shoot for Oregon's Justin Herbert instead. And while the NFL is still scheduled to have their season start on time, Major League Baseball is at a standstill. It's being called the Arizona Plan, one that would keep all 30 teams in Central Arizona quarantined in hotels and going out to play in empty ballparks in that Arizona heat. It also includes weekly COVID-19 testing. But for now, according to Ken Rosenthal, this is the most likely plan moving forward to possibly start in May. That's all we have for you this evening. Thank you for joining us here from my own home in Moravia, New York. I'm Cole Johnson. Be sure to stick with us. Stay tuned on social media, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe.